Meet us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google+. Hey guys, this is Phil from UnderCage.com, and meet the ASUS Padfone X. Well, this is not exactly the latest device, but this is not your ordinary tablet. It is indeed a pad and a phone. So this is how it works. So it's a phone, and it attaches to the backside of this tablet dock. This is not exactly a tablet, it's a tablet dock. So you attach your phone into the tablet dock, and it turns this empty guy into a tablet. Of course, all the internals rely down on the phone, so let's take a look at the phone. This was actually recently sold for $199. I think there's still a lot of stocks around there. But anyway, so it's now a very cheap phone with the high-end specs and an additional tablet, so I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who are interested. So let's get into it. So it's got a receiver and 2 megapixel front-facing camera, not that good, and 5 inches of a full HD display, Super IPS Plus, some kind of weird naming. And there's a navigation key, 3 navigation key in the bottom, and the ASUS logo. And on the right, there is a power key, volume rocker, earphone jack here, and nothing to the left, followed by the micro USB port and the 2 thingies over here, 2 holes here that locks the phone down to the tablet dock when it's attached to it. And on the back, we have a 13 megapixel camera with the LED flash, speaker, and the AT&T logo, along with the Padfone logo down there. The back cover is coated with a rubberish thingy, so I don't think it's going to get gather a lot of scratches like the glossy ones. You can remove the battery cover, but it doesn't mean that you can get an access to the battery itself, which is lying at 2300 milliamps, and it's actually terrible. Micro SD card and the micro SIM card slot lies there. And the thing with the terrible battery is, I think it's the ASUS thing. The ASUS Padfone Mini that we reviewed a long time ago had a terrible battery life, and the Padfone X is no exception. So let's take a look at a few examples before we get on. So this is the lock screen, and this is the launcher that they have customized. And it's actually plain and simple, and it's quite snappy as well. It's got a Snapdragon 800 processor and a 2 GB of RAM, along with the 16 GB of storage. So we could say that this is actually a pretty decent spec phone. The thing is, the icons are actually a lot outdated. The icons are just terrible, and those colors used here and the icons of the settings, they're really dull. And look at that toggle key there; they're totally out of the senses of the 2015. Of course, this is not a 2015 phone, but as even in a 2014, this is still outdated. The operating system-wise, it's outdated as well. It's got an Android 4.4.2. They planned an upgrade for the Padfone S, which is the original model of this custom version of the AT&T version. The Padfone S was supposed to receive a Lollipop update back in May, but it's got delayed to June. And according to what AT&T usually does for their updates, we guess the Padfone X is going to receive even a later update. Other than that, the major feature of this guy is, of course, that you can attach it to the tablet dock here. So this is a 5-incher, and you plug it into this big guy. It turns into a 9-incher tablet, and this is how it's going to look. It's sort of weird, but it's what we have always dreamt of, right? To have a phone and a tablet that work simultaneously. But not so much, because this is a 9-incher tablet, which is almost the size of an 11 inches. So first of all, it's got a wide bezel. It's got a thick bezels, top and bottom, left and right. It's just unbelievably thick bezels there. And aside from that, it's got that docking, the procedure over here that gives you a really unhandy grip when you're using it portrait. And the landscape is okay. Well, not entirely, because it's not even flat on the back. When you place it on the floor, it just like wiggles around, just like that. When you tap, because when you're using a tablet, you're likely to leave that on the floor or on a table and just tap on it, when you're getting lazy with a tablet. And when you tap on something, it's likely that it's going to swiggle around. And if you want to hold it landscape, then it's another problem too, because there's this protruded part over here that gives you a rather uncomfortable grip. If you want to turn it back around onto the other side, then you will find yourself leaving your smudges on the camera. So that's one problem. And the other problem is that the tablet itself doesn't really do much. It's just an expansion pack for your phone. And nowadays, like tablets are so cheap from those Chinese manufacturers. Like I don't really get the need to attach your phone to make a thick, big, and heavy tablet, which is not exactly the high spec either. And one of the things that the Padfone X does have is camera. The 13 megapixel camera actually does a pretty good job. Like a photo over here, it catches a lot of details, and the photos look pretty nice. Let's look at a cheesecake over here. It looks pretty nice with a lot of details. But the thing that it lacks is the audio effects. So the audio quality is terrible. It's the worst audio quality that I've ever heard in a mobile device. This is the worst 5 phones. This is including one of the worst 5 phones that I ever heard. Whether you put it in the music mode, power saving, whichever mode, is just going to sound terrible. The stereo speaker on the tablet is okay, it's decent, but it doesn't really give you much of the rich quality either. The tablet dock does have a 4990 milliamps of battery to aid your short battery life on your phone. Talking about the short battery life, it does have the power saving mode that I have turned on right here. It's called Smart Saving, and there's Ultra Saving, Optimize, and Customize, which none of them work properly. So the Ultra Saving mode is just going to cut your signal all the time that you turn on the screen, which is what it's supposed to do. And the Optimize mode and Customize modes are never going to save your battery. And without those power saving modes, you will be left alone with the 3 to 3.5 hours of the screen on the time, which is terrible with that amount of battery capacity and the screen resolution. So overall, this is okay, although it's got a very dull design. Well, I'd rather say ugly design, and the very outdated user interface and everything. But hey, you get a tablet and a phone, rather fast and high spec phone for $199.99. Not really, because a phone is gonna have a terrible battery life and a outdated software with the outdated design, and tablet itself is not that useful, because for about $100 you can get a tablet that's way better, way slimmer, and just better in every single way. So yeah, of course it does sound like a deal. A less than $200 you can get a phone, an unlocked phone, and a tablet at the same time, but not really. I'd rather suggest you to spend a little bit more or even less to get a proper phone and a proper tablet if you really need one. It's a lot unlikely that you're not going to even need one if you're considering this guy. But we believe that that's a better way. This Padfone X is a failure in every single way, and ASUS, I don't know, Zenfone 2 sounds like a good thing. We'll get our hands right onto it. But for this generation, for the Padfone S or the Padfone X's, they're not exactly recommendable, not at all. So that was Padfone X, and don't get fooled by those $199.99 price tags. All right, then I'll see you guys later. Bye.